All right, well, here's a quick little video update. We had a little accident here on the Mustang, and well, let's just say that a jack slipped off of the cross member and landed on the bottom of the oil pan, and it's got a cast aluminum oil pan in it because it's a Toyota motor, and so it has a nice crack in the oil pan, and so we tried to patch it up with some little epoxy, and it lasted about 2 days and started with a very tiny leak, and every day after that it was leaking more and more, so we couldn't have that. So I don't want to pull the motor out of this thing to replace the oil pan, and I've always wanted a Tig welder, so I bought a Tig welder so that I could learn to TIG weld and weld aluminum whenever I needed to weld aluminum. And so this is what I ended up going with. It is a basic level TIG machine from Eastwood. Obviously it's not a Miller or a Lincoln, and I really didn't want to spend $2,000, $3,000 on an AC/DC setup from them. This is a $900 welder, and if you're looking for a basic entry-level TIG machine, I think this is, just based on my research, was one of the better ones that you could get. Short of going to eBay and getting a $400 or $500 unit made from China that you have no support on, no parts list. This thing, obviously, if you've ever bought anything from Eastwood or called their support, they're pretty good, and I've been in business a long time. And I know it's Chinese made, but they do stock parts. And the TIG torch is uses all the common consumables and stuff that you can get at your local welding supply, so that's good. I'm using the thumb control for right now because when I get up under here to weld this oil pan from underneath the car, I won't be able to use the foot pedal. So I'm practicing and learning how to get a static setting on the welder, and then using that to to control the you basically, it's a static setting, so whatever is the welder set at is, there's no variability in the thumb control. So and on the car, we're just going to do 1 inch or so stitches so that we don't superheat that oil pan and melt the gasket out of it or whatever. So just going to do a little bit, let it cool, and then do some more. So anyway, going to do a little practicing on it. I've done a little bit of practicing, and this is the first time ever I've TIG welded before, and I'll have to say it's quite an experiment. I need Jody from Welding Tips and Tricks to come help me out. But anyway, enough rambling on, and we got a lot of projects going on out here. I haven't made any videos, but I probably will make one on this little project that we got going here at some point. But we're just going to do a quick video and show you the TIG welding, and we'll keep you updated when we get ready to fix this bad boy, and we'll go from there. Alright, well, we're gonna do a little welding here. Got some 1/16 inch aluminum, and I've mostly been trying to practice with aluminum since that's what I'm gonna have to weld on, and so far I've just been using for the most part good clean aluminum, but I also got an old cast iron bracket and practiced on that a little bit, and that was interesting, very dirty. So one of the things that you want to do when you're welding is make sure you have some professional welding gloves, not just regular mechanic gloves with holes in the fingers. That'll be real important. You also want to wear some protection on your arms like I have here. So we'll see how this goes. I'm a rookie for sure, trying to get in position to get comfortable here. So we're going to put a couple of tacks on it, and then we'll take the clamp off and weld it. quite have enough heat in the welder. All right, let's see if we can get a tack on it now. Well, we got a tack on there, but it's not very good. I still don't think I got enough heat. We'll bump it up a little more. One of the things I got to remember to do that I'm not used to remembering to do is leave the torch over it to let the shielding gas protect it, keep contaminants out. I just get up and walk off like I normally would with a MIG welder. All right, that's the problem with trying to weld a continuous bead without a foot control, because the metal gets hotter and hotter as you go. You have to back off on it, and because I've got the static button, and I'm not going to do this on the car, I'm just going to weld, you know, maybe a couple of inches and then let it cool so the static will work fine. You can see it got hotter and hotter, and it just got to where it, you know, was blowing through there. So all right, let me finish welding this. I'll just do that off camera and come back. I'm going to just see how good of a job I can do filling in a hole like that, and then I'll weld the rest of it. All right, there's the two holes that blew out, and I filled those in. You know, I mean, if you ever need to fill in a hole, you've seen a big hole like that with a MIG welder and the kind of damage it can do trying to fill it in, but at least I got it filled. I had too much heat down here, and you can see it's really warping in there. So I flipped the panel around. It was coming this way, so I flipped it around and started on this end, turned the heat down a little bit, and welded like 1-inch sections, and turned the heat down. You can see it's a little more of a puddle buildup, where down here it's really flat, which would indicate that it's too hot. So let's see what it looks like on the back, and see if it fused both of them together. You can see here where it totally melted and fused it together all the way down, and then up here, not so much, not as much. So 16th inch, it's fairly thin. One thing is, it says it needs to have a green tungsten in here, 1/16 of an inch, and it's got a red one. That's the only thing it came with. So I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but I am going to get the right tungsten for it. So anyway, that's that. I'll wrap this up and upload it, and we'll come back and show you when we get ready to make the repair on the car and see how that goes. I'm going to do some more, obviously a lot more practicing, and practicing on the cast aluminum bracket that I have, and if I can hopefully find another piece or two of cast aluminum that I can practice on, and go from there. There's a whole bunch of settings on this thing too. Well, not a whole bunch, but a few, and I really don't know what they all are exactly, so need to work on that some more too. I've read up on it a little bit, but I need to look at it some more. Not a lot of YouTube videos on that. There's 3 or 4 out there, not too many. The welder's been out, I think, 2 or 3 years now, so All right, guys, that's a wrap. We'll show you more later on.